Welcome. Welcome to Mainline Executive Coaching, ACT. We are the Mainline Executive Coaching guys. ACT, we act. We are mainline leaders. We got some powerful images and metaphors about, what does it mean to be this leader? What does it mean to help people in leadership development? This is great stuff that we're doing here. We're excited to have you join us. We got people from, it's hard to believe, Rich, from all over the world.
We do.
This is amazing. This is truly amazing. We thank you for joining us and watching us and doing the downloads. We look forward to hearing from you and getting your comments. We know you've got great ideas and great questions. We'd like you to share those with us. We'd like to get a better idea who it is that's watching us and what kind of things are going on with you and how it is that we can help you. Today, we are going to be taking action on the very notion, Rich, of acting. ACT, act. It also is about and cultural transformation. That's what we're looking at here. And we're looking at in terms of leaders. Leaders can get themselves jacked up in a lot of very interesting ways. And our focus today is don't believe too much in your own PR. Okay, Rich, help us unwind that kind of thing. Don't take too much credit or become obsessed with your PR. Why is that a problem?
Well, everywhere we look, YouTube, everywhere, there's someone out there that's really tooting their own horn, right? They believe everything about what they say about themselves, what others may say about themselves, real or perceived, and it gets to their head. It's the same thing with, leaders or organizations or executives in organizations that have a lot of PR or, media about them, if you will, and they start allowing this to really get to their heads. They start believing in a lot of this PR. And as a result, they become narcissistic. They're way above and beyond anybody else, or they become unapproachable. They start to exaggerate achievements and talents. Expect to be recognized as superior to others, and it becomes a big problem. It becomes something, and we've all seen it happen. The person who gets in to their moderately successful executive, and suddenly when they get there, they start to see the PR about themselves. They start to see what maybe PR firms or whoever is talking about them, and they transform. And we, just like we mentioned, they turn into a narcissistic butthead, and they really do. They become unapproachable. They start to take advantage of others to get what they want, and it's a bad road to go on, because you know what? Eventually, that road they go on themselves. If they're in a senior leadership position, their organization starts to follow.
It's really true. And here's the problem with that. If you start believing too much in your own PR, what other people are saying about you and all that kind of stuff, let it go to your head. Yeah, compliments are great. You want to be very gracious when people compliment you. All that is very important, part of being a leader. And of course, you're reciprocating, encouraging them and all that kind of stuff. Here's the problem with it. If there is no substance, there's no foundation. We talk about foundation. We talk about the core. If that's not really solid in place as a leader, then it's kind of like you really are becoming that person that's in the empty suit, and you kind of know it. And so what happens is you've made some accomplishments, and now you're in that leadership role, and you may be asking yourself this question: I'm not even sure, how did I get here? How did I get here? I don't know what really happened. Maybe it was an accident. Maybe just kind of tripped into this success. I'm just not really sure that how I got here. So therefore, I don't really know how to keep going forward. I don't know how to keep developing and duplicating it and, just moving it forward. I'm not really sure how to do that. And by golly, I'm really afraid somebody might find out. That's what they're afraid of. And so it's easier to take that position of, yeah, I got this, and be more interested in your potential of what it is that you could do, rather than actualizing that potential and really taking risks and developing relationships and breaking new ground and doing new stuff to create greater results with your teams, with your company, with relationships, with the whole thing that you've got going on, that whatever level of leadership you have. And so that becomes the trick. You're afraid that people will find out that you are not all that your PR or other people think you are. So therefore you stop taking chances. And that's the beginning of the end. That really is it. Because we know what's the burnout rate? What's the burnout rate what's the turnover rate in leadership positions, Rich?
It's horrendous.
Yeah.
Leadership turnover right now is at an all-time high. There's more leadership turnover than we've ever seen before. They're getting burned out. They feel overwhelmed, underappreciated. Pride takes a hit. Everything.
It's that, and also because of the great resignation that's going
The
on,
great
right?
resignation.
Oh boy, what a winning strategy that's all about. That now they're moving people that do well at a level of performance into leadership positions that they're just not ready for.
Right.
Leading is one thing. Performing at a high level, being a high performer in your company is a great thing. However, it's a whole other deal once you start putting them into leadership positions, and they really don't know. They're not prepared. We know that the preparation that goes into, in the past has been very poor. It's even worse now. So what you're really doing, unfortunately, folks, what's really going on here is you're setting up these people that have been hard workers, that have been dedicated to your company and what it is that you folks do. You're putting in a position and you're setting them up to fail.
Yes.
It's probably not what you mean to do, right? That's not what they mean to do, but they don't know what to do. And so this is not just you and I talking. We've talked to our colleagues.
Oh,
They're
absolutely.
reporting the same thing across the country. It's not just here or there. It's across the country.
Here's one of the problems, Maikel, is, when you talk about putting people in positions where they're destined to fail, we've got all these programs out there, if you will, that weed out resumes, look for certain phrases in a resume or something. If it doesn't say Bob's your uncle, we're not going to hire you. Here's the thing. Not everybody writes a fantastic resume. Not everybody's going to have the words you're looking for. But I'll tell you what, if you fail to sit down with some of these candidates and really get to know them, you're missing out on some incredible talent, people with heart, people that could really turn your organization around. But yeah, we feel that it's an AI world. AI is going to fix this for me.
Yeah.
And also, you know what? You're coming to me. I'm better than you. I'm the gatekeeper, and I'm just going to determine your future right here and now. And how many times have we seen that happen?
Oh, that is actually one of the worst places in terms of successful hiring is just that HR interview. We've got some statistics. I got to share this with you. We got to share with our people. It's amazing about how that there's certain levels that people count on in terms of their hiring processes that are surefire failures. They really are. I mean, what you're talking about is people that are resume fakers.
Yeah.
Some people are much better at being resume fakers than they are actual employees.
Oh yeah.
That's their specialty. I'm a resume faker. I get hired, but I don't stay long.
Exactly.
So there's that issue of authenticity that really is I think, causing a lot of havoc in companies, causing havoc, at the level of leadership and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it need not be. It need not be, because we have answers. We have tools. We can actually help you take your leaders that are great people. And now let's take them, they're great producers or whatever it is that they do extremely well, but you need them to be leaders. Do you know how to do that? Let me ask you this. Do you know how to do that? Do you have a game plan? Do you actually have the tools? Do you have the skills? Do you actually have the very, the nuts and bolts of how to take this great employee and turn him or her into a great leader? I bet you don't. You may think you do, but I'll bet you don't. If we were to sit down with you, let's lay out the tools. What exactly are the processes? How do you do that? I'll bet you don't. We do. We can help you. We can make a difference for your organization. We are, and that's what we do. That's why we do what we do. Leadership development people.
Absolutely. Here's one thing, and for these folks, men and women who get to these upper, echelons in their organizations, they've earned it. Honestly, they've worked hard. They've got there from whatever. their schooling, however they got to this point, they got there. But here's the thing, senior leadership is only peripherally related to leadership. A title is only peripherally related to leadership. When you are in a senior leadership position and you hold the future of that company in your hands, you're the visionary. You're the one that's going to take them to that next level. Don't forget that you're only as good as the people who surround you. You're only as your organization's going to go only as far as you allow the people in your organization to take it. End of story.
It's true. I love, and I mean this, I love great leaders.
Yes.
They're a rare breed. And when you run into a great leader that really knows his or her, I would call it trade, their skills. I mean, they bring this set of skills, this trade. We talked a little bit about it before, and what it is that they do and how they look at a company, how they look at an organization, how they look at how it's put together, how to address those areas that have problems and weaknesses and what to do to fix it. Those people are extremely rare. And by golly, I love them. I love them for what it is they bring. We want to bring more of that to companies, to organizations. Let's bring that kind of talent and develop that kind of talent so that it can bring it to the organizations, bring it to the companies, bring it to the employees, bring it to the marketplace. That's what we love to do. That's what we're about. And I'm pretty good at it.
Well, you've been at it for 30 years. How many, hundreds of individuals have you coached, CEOs, in how many countries? You've been very successful at this.
It's been a lot. I know it's not one of those things I keep count up. But I've worked with thousands.
You don't believe your own hype?
No, I'm just looking at how did it turn out? That's what I look at. How did it turn out? Are we still talking after we've done the coaching? And it's probably one of those experiences that is not only life changing for the individual that we're working with, right? Yeah. But I got to tell you this: it's also life changing for the individual who's doing the coaching, the consulting. If you do it right, it's a synergistic relationship where both people are growing, both people are developing, both people are working to get the best out of each other. And I tell you, I love clients that challenge me. I love that because it demands I bring forth my best. And then, of course, conversely, I'm challenging them. Yep. And that's what we want. That's what, and here's the point of that. Leaders, that is what Rich was talking about. That is what you want in your organization, that your people are challenging you just as you are challenging them. It's a synergy. It's something that happens that's almost magical. It's like when Rich talks about being on stage and playing, in the band. You're on the band and you can look at somebody, give them a nod, and they understand this is where you're going to take the tune. This is what we're going to go and do with it. It's that kind of connectivity that's almost magical. That's what the best teams are. That's what the best leadership is all about. That's what the best leadership develops in its culture. That's what we're about.
Yep. One of the things about this is when we talk about these individuals who believe too much of their own hype, one thing they need to remember is what kind of legacy are you leaving? Not only for yourself, but for your organization. Are you respecting those people around you? Everybody, those people that you talk to, a lot of these people are going to hold you in high esteem. After all, you're senior leadership in that organization. Listen to them. Listen, put the title aside for a minute and listen to what people have to say to you and take that to heart, good or bad, and do something about it. Really do something about it. Learn. Nobody is done learning. We all continually learn throughout our lives. Now, it's the ones that really seek out that additional education, that additional learning, are the ones that really get to that next level. I got to tell you, John Mattone is the individual that has started ILEC. He certified both you and me, Maikel. Great man, great individual. And he tells us about Steve Jobs. He was Steve Jobs' coach. Now, Steve Jobs was already sick and knew that he was dying when he reached out to John to come and coach him. The number one reason why is because he wanted to make sure that his legacy that he was leaving behind for Apple was something that was going to be able to carry on. And this was even at the point where he knew he was dying. Now, I got to tell you how big that is. That's a huge issue. What's your legacy? Is your legacy you're going to be your hype or your PR or your, whatever car you're driving or how many square feet your house is or how much your paycheck is? We just heard about that guy from John Deere gave himself 160% pay raise. What's that all about? Yeah, I shake my head. Come on, because you can doesn't mean you should.
I voted on it and I won.
Yes, yeah, 100% in my favor. But I mean that kind of stuff. Of course, you're gonna make everybody in your organization upset. What did you think was going to happen? Did you think they were going to clap and applaud you and write about you in their journal that night? I don't think so.
What do you think was going to happen? What a great question. What do you think was going to happen?
Yeah.
We're going to get a bunch of cupcakes to celebrate, come to your office?
Right, yeah.
The cupcakes.
We're going to give everybody a half day off.
Cupcakes.
Yeah. Yeah. Take the rest of the day off.
I deserve it.
Yeah.
Got it.
All right. Well.
All right. Let's wrap this up. Very good. All right. They want to get a hold of us. What do they want to do? And by the way, here's our shout out today. There is someone that we want to say, where to go? Where is it? What was that place? It disappeared. I had it here on my screen. I'll give you. There's another one. Basingstoke, Hampshire. Basingstoke. Shout out. Thanks for watching us.
Yes,
for paying attention.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So here we are to the end of another episode of Mainline Executive Coaching ACT. Reach out to us, executiveleadersact.ilec.com. There are links on there to get a hold of us, links to our email. Reach out. There's even our phone numbers on there. Reach out and call us. Pick up your phone and give us a call. Text us, whatever you want to do, but reach out. We'd love to talk to you. Love to hear from you. Love to see what's making you tick, regardless of where you are. We'd love to hear from you.
And just a cautionary thing, folks, when you call us, we're not here to sell you.
No,
I don't want to get another salesperson. No, what we're going to do is we'll get a conversation going. We're going to find out about you, give you a chance to find out about us. We're going to just have a conversation about what's going on, what do you want to do, where you're going, and it will just be that. The first, all great things begin with, I have this idea, or I got to talk to you about something, or what do you think of this? Great conversations are where they begin, and that's what we're just going to do. Let's have a conversation, see what happens. Maybe nothing. Maybe something incredible.
Absolutely. Folks, thanks for your support. Thank you for being here tonight. And this is Rich and Maikel from Mainline Executive Coaching ACT. And have a great night. Take care, and we'll